Hey, so this is how I've set up my UI, and I find it's obviously, as you can see, it's a lot different than your regular stock UI setup. I have a bunch of add-ons going. I have Bartender 4 as all my action bars are all moved around, scaled, sized different, stacked in different amounts of rows even. I have Pitbull, which I'm using to replace my regular unit frames, and I've moved them down here, so they're downright close to my action bars. It's easier to see too, instead of looking all the way up in the top left corner over here. I keep my recount up there for nowadays. I also have a mini map button frame. Usually you have those little circular buttons for all your add-ons up around your mini map. I have this add-on. I think it's mini map button frame. Just puts them right over here, lock them in so they can't move, and I can just access it like my Atlas loot, my bartender, and my pitbull, even my omen right here. Everything's really accessible. I have sexy cooldown in the bottom here, which is just a cooldown bar. It shows you your cooldowns, so you can customize what cooldowns you want to be on it, what buffs you want to be on it. You can have multiple bars all around. I have a totem bar right here. It's a flow totem bar is the add-on's name. I really like this one actually because I can see all my totems and I can select. If I mouse over here, I want to have mana spring, and I can select what call of I want to put it on. And I've bound all my call of totem buttons to F1, F2, F1, F2, F3, and F4, and they're all different. And when you call one, you can see how much time is left on there. It's really useful. What I think first thing you should look at is is your bartender bars. Now, I have all these buttons up, but the good thing about it is not all of them show while I'm in combat. This bar over here to the left, this is my Naga bar. I have button mapped all these buttons to match the Naga's little keypad on the side. But this one used to be another 2 rows of 6, as these ones are. So there's like 6 rows or whatever going down. But now there's 2 rows. What I like about it is though, I only want these little buttons right here to show while I'm in combat. So I want to fly around and show you. So right now you can see they're all shown there. I'm out of combat. I'm going to fly over here, and we're going to see what it's like when I'm in combat. Now I'm down on the platform over here. Let's say I'm going to run up to the dummy, and I'm going to start attacking it. Let's say I've popped my totems, everything's going alright. As you can see, there used to be a bar right here with a couple mounts on it and some stuff, but it's disappeared. And now let's say I'm going to call my totems back. I'm going to exit combat, and the bar comes right back as soon as I leave combat. I have my macro to change my specs. I have a few mounts. Fishing, which I never use, is still level 1 on all my characters. I think the highest I've gotten it is like 27 or something. But I have all these things right here. And the good thing about Bartender, you can customize how many rows you want, how many buttons in each row. You can even go, if you want to go into Bartender, and it's called Bartender 4, you have 10 different bars you can customize, all different. You can have them fade out on combat. You can have them fade out until you mouse over them. So if I wanted bar 2 to be visibility fade out, bar 10 visibility fade out, and I can just mouse over them and have them appear out of nowhere. I guess bar 10 I just disable. So bar 10 fade out, and they would both appear as I moused over them, which I find very, very useful. Now I can do the same for all these different bars here. In fact, I'm going to keep that like that for now. No, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to bring them back. I like seeing them. I'm going to unfade them out. Now let's get to these weird balls in the middle of my screen. If you've played Diablo, it looks like Diablo. That's the intention of the add-on. I just got them very, very recently, but I find I like them because it shows me how much health I have and how much mana I have and percentage and whatnot right in front of me. Instead of looking down even to right here, I can see right underneath me, and it empties downwards like Diablo. And it's actually really useful if I want to see my stats like in battlegrounds and stuff. It's a lot more accessible, and you can move them anywhere in your screen. And you can get, if you get the same add-on, you get different layouts, and you can have them look like the actual Diablo bars from all the different games. There's different setups, which are all really great. Now, the one add-on that's not really showing right now is called Raven. Now, Raven, I just got it, but it's a buff bar. Let's say I want to select myself. I can see, and I'm going to right-click to show. I have a bunch of different bars. Up here is debuffs. It'll show my debuffs growing downwards. I have my target bars, my targets, buffs, and debuffs that grow up. That's good for a hunter or a dot class. You can see every debuff that's on your enemy. For short buffs, you can see I have any buffs that are under 10 minutes, or yeah, under, I think it's 3 minutes, that come up here. And that I really like too. Now you can see short buffs. Any buff lasting less than 2 minutes. I put that bar right here above myself. I have a focus bar that grows up. Reason why I did that, I'm going to go focus. As a shaman, I use Earth Shield, and I want to keep track of how many stacks it has. So it allows me to see not only how many Earth Shield stacks I have, how long it has left before it expires, and it also shows me how long Riptide is left to run off on my tank. I've always set it to my tank before he dies. It's really, really useful. Same as a, let's say, a disc priest. You can see how long the shield has left before it expires. It doesn't show you how much health the shield has left on it, but you can see how long till the shield expires. A lot of these things are incredibly useful. I find it can be cluttered for some people. I like mine this way. Some people have a giant black bar across the bottom. I don't like that. In fact, well, on my hunter, you don't even have this thing right here. You don't even have your flow totem bars. I just got these recently. My omen, my threat meters pop up right here, and a bunch of stuff like GTFO, that one that beeps if you're in a like dangerous fire that's damaging you, that you can't see. A bunch of stuff like that is really helpful. Now I'm going to go into, let's go into the first area of Hyjal, and I'm going to show a bit of DPS as I'm fighting things.